To Chris Cook for YouTube. Tonight I'm going to do a very fast recipe for you. It's going to be potato, sausage, and onion medley. There's a lot of times when you just don't feel like cooking a lot of food, or you don't feel like cooking a long drawn out meal that a recipe calls for, a lot of things. So you just want to do something that's quick for your family, but you want it to be filling and you want it to taste good. So let's get started. Here I have some smoked sausage. Now I'm using beef smoked sausage. You can use any kind of sausage that you want. These are sold in your local grocery store. Kielbasa is a good sausage to use with this recipe as well. But I have beef sausage, and you really won't need as many packs as I'm using. You'll probably take a lot less. But this recipe calls for the beef smoked sausage, some white potatoes, some onion, salt and pepper to taste, some chives, garlic powder, and some parsley. That's all you need for this recipe. So I'm going to go away. I'm going to diagonally cut up my sausages, just cutting them on the diagonal, and I'm going to slice up my potatoes and slice up my onions. Then I'll come back, meet you at the stove, and we'll prepare this quick but yet good and filling dish. Okay, now I'm at the stove and I have a little bit of oil over in my pan, which you can see right now, and I've already sliced up my potatoes. And see, I just sliced them, kind of cut them on a diagonal the same way I cut my sausage. And some of them I did just go ahead like these. I just cut them in half. They were whole like that, so I just took them and just cut them in half. So I'm going to add them because I want to kind of like French fry them a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to turn my stove up and I'm going to allow that to cook for a while. Now I have another pot that's on the back here, and it has a little bit of oil in it as well. And this is used cooking oil. What I'm using is leftover oil that I fried my chicken in. And like I told you, I put it in this little bucket, so or this little container back here. So that's what I have in that I'm cooking the potatoes with, and I'm going to cook the sausage with. Now I want to get a little bit of a crust on my sausage. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in this pan, and I'm going to allow them to fry up as well. Now, here also, I have my onions, which I have sliced. I just cut it in half, and then I just sliced it down a little bit. So I have my onions, which I'm going to add to my potatoes. I'm going to allow these potatoes to cook roughly about, 20 minutes. And I'm going to allow the sausage to cook for maybe about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to toss it so it can get just a little bit crusty. And then I'm going to mix all this together and show you this dish. Now to these potatoes, I'm going to add some parsley. This is new parsley, so it's coming out a little bit slower than usual. I'm going to add some chives. Definitely some garlic powder. And I'm going to salt and pepper to taste. Now you know that potatoes will consume your salt, so you can just add a little bit and then you can just go up from there if need be. And this is pepper. Now these are going to kind of fry like French fried potatoes, would actually fry. So I'm trying to get a wooden spoon because this is Teflon. And if you have Teflon pots and pans in your house, you always want to use a wooden spoon. That way it won't scrape up the bottom of the dish. If it's wooden, you won't get the scrapes in the bottom. Because once you get the scrapes in the bottom of Teflon, it'll start to stick. And that you don't want. Now I've stirred these just a little bit, and I want to get just a little crust on it. Like you see a little bit of a crust right there. That's what I want to get on the potatoes all over, so I'm going to allow these to cook. And then as they cook, I'll get back. I'm going to stir my sausage a little bit. And allow it to get a little bit of a crust on it as well. And once it gets that on it, then I'll get back and I'll show you the rest of the dish. Okay, now my potatoes are frying up, you know, kind of good. You can see this is what I want. See how that these potatoes have, some of them have gotten darker. That's what I want. So I'm going to allow, and you can see they're starting to crust around the edges. I'm going to allow these potatoes to crust up just a little bit more. And they've only been cooking for maybe about 13 minutes. So it's going to be, like I told you, I'm going to let them cook about 20 minutes at least. Okay? So I'll let them continue to cook. But meanwhile, over here, my sausage, they're ready. Okay? And they got just a little bit of crust on some of them. All of them don't need to have a little bit of crust on it. But my edges, like, let me see. See my edges around there? They're a little bit crusty because I want you to be able to taste it. So I'm going to take these sausages out now. If I needed to use some more grease for my potatoes, this would be the grease that I would use. Okay? Because this has the flavors of my sausages in it. So this would be what I would use. But I don't need it right now. So what I'm going to do, since I have this and I have to wait on my potatoes anyway to cook up just a little bit more, I'm going to go ahead, take just a little bit of this, pour it down on my potatoes. I'm going to take the rest and start these onions to cooking. Now for my onions, the only thing that I'm going to need is some salt. And some pepper. Okay, now I'm going to allow them to cook up as well. Continue to watch my potatoes for about another 10 minutes. As you can see, they're really cooking up nicely. And then what I'll do, I'll get back. And now I took, after my potatoes got done, I took all the grease out and cleaned my pan out. Now I'm going to put my potatoes back in there. And as you can see, my potatoes did turn dark like I wanted them to. And to that, I'm going to add my onions, which have been sauteing over here in this pan. It smells really, really good, so I'm going to add them. Okay, and then mix that just a little bit. Now I'm going to add my sausages to that. And I drained all the grease off of that. Now, what I'm going to do is to allow this to cook for another 5 minutes. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some aluminum foil. I just stepped away because I decided that I don't eat cheese, and I think I've told you all that before, but my family does. So I have some shredded cheese here, and on this end of it, I'll put down some shredded cheese. Okay. Now I'm going to pour just a little bit of water in there. It's like about a half cup full. Cover it with this foil. And I'm not covering it really completely, just enough so that the steam will go back down in the pan. Let it cook for about 5 minutes, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. So I'm going to remove the foil from the top of it, and this dish is ready. Set it over there, and I'm going to dish up some with the cheese on it. This is my potato, sausage, and onion medley. Now, how fast was that? We did this within an hour. Okay. So we're going to put some down. Everything is done. Potatoes done, sausage done, onions are done. Get just a couple more sausages on this plate. Well, I should be taking some from the cheese end of it. Okay, there you have it. So you have your potatoes and your onions, which is your vegetable, and you have your meat, which is your sausage. This was done in less than 1 hour. It took us roughly about 45 minutes to do it. And I think this is a fantastic dish when you don't feel like cooking. So try it. I think you're going to like it. And as always, thank you for watching Chris Cook for You Too. Bye.